Hello there, grade 5. For today, you're going to learn how to solve for the area of a triangle. But before that, ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng area? Area refers to, basically, technically, the units present in a certain area. For example, let's say yung square. If this represents one unit, so the area of this square is 1 unit squared. Or can be written as 1 square unit. Bakit unit ang sinasabi natin? Because we don't have a unit assigned, such as yun na nga, centimeters, inches, meters, kilometers. So those are examples of units of length. Okay. So since dito we only made used of the term unit, so unit lang ang gagamitin natin. So what if we are going to enlarge our, not necessarily I am going to enlarge the rectangle, then the square here, but kahit same size lang, okay na, as long as I'm going to put partitions in it. So if you observe now, we now have 2 units for this one. We also have 2 units for this part over here. Okay? Okay, that looks like a bat. Erase ko muna yan again. Okay. That now looks like a tail. So anyway, so we also have 2 units here. So kasi syempre nga, since it is a square, so parehas ang units natin on both sides. Of all sides rather. So, area refers to what occupies the inside and how many units are there in this case. Like for example, in this case, we have 1 unit for this one unit for this one. The total space that we have is just 1. That's why it's called 1 unit squared or 1 square unit. But in this case, it's 2 units for this side and 2 units for the bottom part. So, and if you were able to see the partition, no, ang pag separate ng parts. We have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and we can say that this square here has 4 units squared. Or you can just basically say 4 square units. Okay? Medyo klaro ba? How about for a rectangle? Okay, sorry, medyo nawala yung boses ko here. Okay, so for example, for a rectangle, meron tayong ganito. We have 2 units here. Looks like a 3. Ano ba yung bracket ko? It's hard to, this is the only position drawn that is comfortable for a bracket. No? Kasi if you're going to do it the other side, actually, okay, dito okay pa. Pero doing it here, parang, anyway. So, in this case, we have 2 units. Meron tayong 1, 2. Okay? And sa bottom, we have 1, 2, 3. So, I'm gonna try to draw the bracket. Okay, nabahala na yan. Okay, as long as you understand. We now have 3 units here. Okay, so, counting the units, the square units inside, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can now say that this rectangle over here has 6 units squared. Or basically 6 pala, sorry. By simply looking at the one above, kinopya ko yun. 6 square units. So, ganun lang. Okay, so that is what you refer to area. The square units occupied in a certain figure. Okay? Or written yan ha. Ganito yan. Unit squared, parang yung unit squared. This is an exponent. Mathematics exponent natin yan. Okay, bawasan natin ng isa. Isa lang naman. Exponent. Okay? Which is in this case is a 2. So that's why it's read as squared. Okay, so going back to our main topic na yung area of a triangle. erase ko na lang. I'll just make a new one na lang. Area of a triangle. Ano yung mga kailangan natin solving for the area of a triangle? One, you need the base. You need to know how to identify the base of a triangle and of course, the height. Okay, yan ang dalawang importanteng kailangan nyong malaman for solving the area of a triangle. You need the base, you need the height. So for a normal looking triangle, usually the ones on the bottom is your base. And of course, the height, obvious naman yan. Height, gaano katangkad. It's from this point all the way down. This is your height, not your height, but the height of the triangle. Okay? So you'll be experiencing other figures kasi of a triangle. Let's say you have a right angled triangle which looks like this. Okay, again, yung bottom part is your base. And obviously, this is your height. Now, what if you're going to encounter triangles that look like this? Paano yan ngayon? Actually, pwede nyo i-rotate yung triangle. Pwede nyo gawin this way. From here, parang i-rotate ninyo and it will look like this. Diba? Does it make sense to you? You're going to rotate the triangle. It now looks like this. So we can now say that this bottom part is our base and this one is your height. Do you get it? But some figures cannot be moved. Talagang kailangan nyo talaga i-solve according to how the figure is drawn. Okay, so in that case, all you have to do, obviously, yung sa baba, pinaka-bottom nga is your base. And for your height ng triangle, starting here, this is not the height of the triangle. Okay? That's not the height of the triangle. This is also not the height of the triangle. That's wrong. The height of the triangle, kasi syempre, you should be fair how tall the triangle is. So that should be measured vertically. From this point all the way down until you reach the level of the base. So this now represents your height. Not your height, but the height of the triangle. Why do I keep on saying that it's your height? Okay, anyway, so ganun kailangan yung pag-answer nito. Okay, identifying the base and height. Now, that you are able to identify or you now know, although there are there are mga drawing kasi na ganito that will look like this. And then may pre-line na. Siyempre yung mga may mga dotted lines na, obviously that's your height right away. Not your height, the triangle's height. Oh, why do I keep you? Anyway, so yan na. Pag ito yung height, of course, the opposite of that, this, okay? Kung mapapansin ninyo nga sa mga natin, opposite yung height sa ating base. Okay, mark ko sa different color. Your height is perpendicular to your base. Not your height again. Ano ba yan? Height of the triangle is perpendicular to the base. Height of the triangle is perpendicular to the base. So, ibig sabihin, if this is your height, it should be perpendicular to the triangle's height. This should be perpendicular to the triangle, to the height of the triangle. So, which means this is the triangle's base. Okay, anyway, pabalik-balik na lang tayo. So, paano nga ba tayo nagsosolve for the area of a triangle? First, you need to know the formula on how to solve for the area of the triangle. So, ako, for area, you just write A. And in my case kasi, I just write the figure after A. So, if you're solving for the area of the square, I'm gonna write the square. If you're gonna write the area of the rectangle, I'm gonna draw a rectangle. Drawing area for a triangle, draw the triangle. Okay. The real formula is 1/2 multiplied to base multiplied to height. Okay, but if you're going to simplify this, 1/2 multiplied to base over 1, height over 1, will now give you multiplying fractions, di ba? Alam nyo yan. Alam nyo na yan how to multiply fractions. Ganyan lang yan. 1 times b will give you b times h will give you bh lang. B times h lang yan. Or base times height. Okay? Over, what's 2 times 1? 2 times 1 again is still 2. So we can now say that the final area of a triangle is equivalent to base times height divided by 2. Yan ang ibig sabihin niya ng over 2. Okay, when we say over 2, it's divided by 2. So let's try to use this formula with a given figure. We have a triangle here. And let's say the base accordingly measures, let's say 5 centimeters. And the height measures 4 centimeters. So using the formula, a area of a triangle is equivalent. Ano yung base natin? Identify muna natin that our base is 5 cm and our height is 4 cm. Okay. So ganyan lang. Identify nyo muna. It is very important for you to identify. It will be easier for you, especially if you are a beginner. So base times height. Substitute nyo lang yung value dyan sa formula. Base should go there and height should go there. Ano yung base natin? 5 centimeters. Multiplied to what? Your height. Not your height. The triangle's height, which is 4 centimeters over 2. What is 5 centimeters times 4 centimeters? Again, we are multiplying not just numbers, but also the units. Okay? So 5 times 4 will give you 20. And centimeter multiplied to centimeter will give you a centimeter squared. Please don't forget about that. Kasi if you are not going to write squared, it will not become an area. Okay? Take note. If you're going to write 20 cm lang, that's wrong. There should be a squared. Hindi pa tayo tapos. Rewriting the equation, divided by 2 or over 2. So what's 20 divided by 2? It will give you 10. 10 centimeter squared. So that's the area of the triangle that we were solving earlier, which is this one. Okay? So giving you another example. Okay, tapos ito yung given kaagad. So no escape kayo. Talagang sinabi to agad that this is 3. Let's say I'm going to put data, maraming data for you to be able to identify again. Let's say this is 7 centimeters. This is 11 centimeters. This one is 6 centimeters. And this one over here, this one is 5 centimeters. Okay. So anong gagawin natin dito? Of course, we have to identify our base and our height. Obviously, pag in this case, yung pinakababa, yan ang automatic natin. That is your base, 7 centimeters. Now, your height, alin dyan ang kailangan ninyo? Like what I've said earlier, it should be perpendicular. Kung naalala nyo yun, ito. Perpendicular should look like a T or an L. Okay? So, ibig sabihin itong dito part na to, the only line that is perpendicular to your base is this one. So, which makes our height as 5 centimeters. Okay? So, 5 centimeters na siya. We now have the data. So, all you have to do to solve is to make use of the formula. Area of the triangle is equivalent to base times height over 2. Ang base natin is equivalent to, andun na sa taas, 7 centimeters. Multiplied to our height, which is 5 centimeters, divided by 2. 7 times 5 is equivalent to 35, and centimeter times centimeter will give us a centimeter squared. Rewriting the formula over 2. So how do we solve this? 35 divided by 2 3 divided by 2, if you remember the magic school bus. Okay, sana na marunong pa kayo mag-divide. 3, the first digit divided by 2 will give you only 1 because only how many 2 will fit 3? Only 1. Then we have our multiplication process applied here. 1 it's not a multiplication process there. Oops. Okay. 1 times 2 will give you 2. 3 minus 2 will give you 1. Subtraction eh. Oh, see, after dividing, we multiplied, then we subtracted, and next is we bring down. Bring down na natin. 5. 15 divided by 2 will give you 7. 7 times 2 will give you 14. And in mathematics, in this type of mathematics, you're no longer a preschooler or lower grade. You don't deal with remainders here. Okay, so kung pwede, proceed with the usual multiplication on adding a 0. The first 0 added will give us a decimal point on our quotient. So all you have to do now is to bring down, wait lang, after subtracting pala you have 1 there, sorry. Bring down 0, and 10 divided by 2 will give you 5. 5 times 2 will give you 10. Subtracting this will give you 0. So our final answer is 17.5, and of course, don't forget about the unit squared. Okay, so if you have any clarifications, kindly just message me sa messenger natin. Okay, so that's it for today.